This is Wake Up and Lead, a daily podcast where ambitious young professionals learn to lead themselves. Today, we are talking about faith, and I'm going to be talking about how it's time for you to pick a church. Have you ever heard the term, we're church hopping, we're just kind of looking around. And while I think it's very important to make sure that you land in a church that you agree with theologically and you feel like the gospel and the good news is being preached and the leadership has good character and everything, I think so often people almost use it as an excuse to not fully dive in and commit somewhere. They say, oh, well, the worship is kind of bad, or I don't really know if there's people like me there, or I don't like this, or I don't like that. And they start like naming all their preferences. And, if we're completely honest with ourselves, there may not even be a church that exists that has every single one of your preferences. But we are not meant to be consumers. We are supposed to be givers and contributors at the church. Like, the church isn't the building, it's the people. And if all the people are just consumers, then they're missing the point. Like, it's not just the pastors and the missionaries that are supposed to share the good news. They're actually supposed to be equipping us and inspiring and leading us through the power of the Holy Spirit to go and spread the good news. So I think we need to stop looking at the church in a way that says, okay, how can it serve me? How does it check all the boxes for me? And so my challenge to you is, you may have a couple of different churches in mind. You may have a couple of different options. Pick one. Just pick one. As long as you know that, the gospel is being preached there, just pick one and dive in, and it will all work out. Because I don't think that people find the satisfaction and the enjoyment in what the church is actually meant for until they actually dive in. Like, you won't actually know or reap the benefits until you pick one. And the reason I can say that is because that's my story and a lot of other people's. There was like 3 awesome churches that Erica and I were looking at in the middle of COVID. Obviously a hard time to find a church, but when we got married, we were trying to decide, and it was this stressful time of like 6 to 8 months where we're kind of hopping around to different churches. And if I look back, I know for a fact that if I just picked one of them, I would have been happy with it. The church, think about it as one. There's not like one that's just like way better than others. Now, be careful. There could be some. Use your discernment, use wise counsel. There could be some out there that it would be better to stay away from. But at the same time, a lot of the churches have the same mission. Now, it might look a little bit different. It might have a different demographic. The worship might be different. The, Wednesday or Sunday night meetings, community groups could be different. But at the end of the day, you need to be a part of a body and stop letting your preferences be the bottleneck for you completely diving into one, because you won't reap the benefits until you pick one. So pick one right now. Do it. It's time for you and me to wake up and lead.